You're probably watching this video because your Google Shopping ads are not making you any money at all. They're probably making you a loss every single day. You're panicking. You feel like you've tried absolutely everything to try and make them work. But there's probably one very important thing that you've completely missed, and that is what I'm going to be showing you in today's video to give every single product in your Google Shopping campaign the best chance of success. And I'll be showing you step by step how to do that in today's video. These are the steps that I use for my own businesses. These are the steps I recommend to my clients as well. And you could put this video on in the background and essentially go step by step with me and do it yourself. So without further ado, let's jump into Google Merchant Center, which is where obviously your products are synced into from your website. I assume most of you are using Shopify, so all of your products, they'll be in your Google Merchant Center account. Now, sometimes people just submit their product feed to Merchant Center and simply leave it at that and just hope and pray that people are gonna, find their products in their Google Shopping campaigns and convert. And that is simply not the case. There are quite a few optimizations you can do to all of your products on Google Merchant Center to give them the best chance of success. That ranges from product titles, descriptions, to images, to categories, to GTIN numbers, and all of those things I'll be showing in this video. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going step by step in this video to essentially show you how I would create the perfect product in Google Merchant Center, which would give it the best chance of success to perform as a profitable product in a Google Shopping or Performance Max campaign. So now, just before we get going making this product in Merchant Center, if you are interested in working directly with me, I do have a few spaces left on my mentorship program over on WOP. You can click the link at the top of the description. If you want me to be in your corner helping your business grow, then I'd highly recommend checking this out. If you've got any questions about it, you can drop me a message either on WOP or on Instagram. You'll find those links down below. But let's jump into Merchant Center. And the last couple of videos we have used a dining room chair as the example product, but in today's video we are going to be using a classic dropshipping product because a lot of my viewers are running dropshipping businesses and are in the beginning stages. So we're going to be using a classic 2020 dropshipping product, and that is going to be a moon lamp. Now we are just going to pick a random image here to use as our starting point. Right, we're going to go with this image here. So now, assuming your products are on Merchant Center, let's jump in and click edit product on the product you're wanting to change. Now, Merchant Center is going to allow you to change everything, but you want to make sure a few things stay the same, and that is going to be the product URL. You want to make sure this matches the URL that the customer lands on, because otherwise Google would disapprove the product. But typically, if you're running a shopping feed directly from Shopify, either through Shopify's Google app or a different app, these sorts of things are automatically synced over. So let's go ahead and focus on the product title first. Now, if we jump back over to Google, look at some shopping ads here, the product title is going to be this piece of blue text here on the product listing. And you can see some of them are quite short, some of them are quite long. Google allows you to do up to 150 characters in your Google Shopping title. So maximizing the number of popular keyword search terms in your title is going to give it the best chance to reach as many people and as many relevant people as possible. So let's go ahead and craft the product title. Now, I simply start by putting what the product is. I know it's very simple. So that is how I would start the title. It's a color changing moon lamp. Now, most people and most accounts I see and work on, they would usually only include this part in their title and that would be it, but we still have 122 characters still to work with here. So this is where you want to add more things to your title, again, to reach more people and make this product as relevant as possible. Now, if you're struggling with ideas on what to include in your product title, you could go ahead and use Google's keyword planner tool. You can find this by going to the tools section in your ad account, onto the planning section here, then keyword planner. Just make sure you're clicking the correct country of sale here. For this video, we'll just use United States as the example, but if you're selling in the UK, you obviously want to do that instead. Let's say I'm struggling for ideas here. You can input words related to your product, so moon lamp for example here, and Google's going to give you a ton of different keywords that are related to your product, and it's also going to show you the search volume for them as well. Now, what you want to be doing here is taking a look at what has the highest amount of search volume, but also make sure it is relevant as well. So for example, this one here, the search term is photo moon lamp. It does have a few hundred searches every month, but we won't include this because obviously our product isn't a photo moon lamp. It doesn't have, I think you can can get ones where people's photos are sort of embellished onto the product. Not any examples there, but that's me just explaining. You've got to keep this relevant. Don't start including things like this that don't relate to your product, because it's misleading and it will lead to a high bounce rate on your product. People will start clicking your ad. You're obviously getting charged per click, and then they'll just bounce straight back off the website because it's not what they were looking for. Similarly with this levitating moon lamp, yes, it has a good amount of searches, but that's not what our product is, and that's not what our product does, so we wouldn't include things like that. So we're going to add 3D moon lamp because some people are searching for obviously a 3D moon lamp rather than like a 2D sort of wall sticker type thing. But we're going to think a bit out of the box now for the rest of this. Now, this is a great way to include sort of different angles of your product, and obviously this moon lamp product is a great gift for children, so you can start including things in your title such as gifts for 6-year-olds or gifts for 10-year-olds, you know, things like that, because those sorts of terms, especially this time of year in Q4, have really high search volume. So you can see here I've searched gifts for 6-year-olds in the United States. That term alone has 3,500 monthly search volume, but looking at other terms here, toys for 6-year-old boys for example, 15,000 searches a month, and you can see it peaks in December. So that is something we would want to include in the title. Obviously I like to capitalize it just because it looks a little bit better. But so all of a sudden we've now got a sort of a phrase within our Google shopping product title that has 15,000 searches a month, and most people aren't doing this. Most people are just including phrases and words related just to the product. But because of this term here, it is relevant to our product, because if people are searching this and then they see a moon lamp, it's going to grab their attention. Parents are going to think, oh, my child will absolutely love that as a Christmas gift. And if you're not using terms like this, then your product is going to have a much lower chance of showing up for terms like this. Now, naturally, with the gifting angle, especially for children, a lot of the terms are to do with the children's age. Like we just showed you the term for 6-year-olds, you've got 5-year-olds here. I wouldn't necessarily waste characters within your product title by doing, for example, this. You don't want to be doing, you know, toys for 6-year-olds and toys for 5-year-olds, because that's sort of wasting space. You don't really need to do that. You could do something like this where you're just listing the different age brackets, but I would either do it like this or just include one of the ages, because Google will do a pretty good job at still showing it for the other terms of the different ages, because they're all very similar ages anyway. Another great example for this moon lamp product, you can see here, children's lamps for bedroom, 1,600 searches a month, another good angle to include within the title, and that just about takes us up to the 150 character limit. If we just quickly summarize that here, you can see the first part of the title is simply what the product is. We've got 3D moon lamp in there as well. We've got toys for 6-year-old boys, because that is a gifting angle that gets a lot of search terms, especially this time of year. That's why we've included that here. We've included wireless rechargeable nightlight lamp. Again, these sorts of phrases do pretty well in terms of search volume. And then again, as we just showed you, children's lamps for bedroom, another angle for the product to use there. So our title is done. You can tweak and test things. If perhaps a product still isn't performing well, you can go into your merchant center, try different angles and different phrases within your title. That could lift performance, especially if a product is doing poorly. You might as well change the title, try something new before you completely kill it. Okay, now moving on, brand, obviously this should be synced anyway. Next up is description. It says up to 5,000 characters. I usually like to do less than 320. The Google shopping app I use on Shopify only allows up to 320 characters anyway. So essentially what you want to do for the description, you want to just do a longer version of your title. So again, including more gifting angle keyword phrases in here, but I can't stress enough, I would avoid simply bullet pointing or just listing different keyword phrases. I always like the description to actually make grammatical sense. So instead of doing it like this, you can see this is essentially just a list of search terms. You want to construct, like I said, a 320 or so character description here that does make grammatical sense. So I'll put one together, show you it as an example of exactly what I mean. Okay, so you can see here, this is a quick draft. I would probably improve this a bit more, but this is just an example to show you want a grammatically correct short description rather than just bullet points of different keywords. So you can see this color changing moon lamp is the perfect Christmas gift for 6-year-old boys. A sentence that does make sense. You can see here we have put this search term in the sentence as well as Christmas gift for 6-year-old 6-year-old boys. So 2 very good search phrases there, but in a grammatically correct sentence. It can also be used as a calming bedroom lamp for children's bedrooms. These are search phrases that do quite well. And again, it is a color changing moon lamp, again reiterating that there. And then we're also putting in wireless and rechargeable features that people search for as well. And then finally, this cordless moon lamp makes a great holiday gift for children, again reinforcing that gifting angle for the product. So that is the first section there. Title is much more important than a description. I rarely find changes in the description make a huge impact on performance. So if you're going to focus on anything, focus on the title, but in terms of the description, just make sure it's grammatically correct and you're not just bullet pointing keywords like you are for the title. Okay, product images, arguably the most important thing for Google Shopping, in my opinion anyway, because if you're searching on Google, example here, I've just searched for toys for 6-year-old boys, you can see the first thing you're going to see is all of the product images. You know, they're much bigger than the title, the price is much smaller, you're going to be drawn to the images, and that is essentially what people are going to make the decision on, and that is essentially what people are going to decide. So if someone is performing a Google search for your product, the first thing they are going to see is all of these pictures, and you are going to want to stand out as much as possible. Now, quick tip, I would avoid white background images. I find they never perform as well as lifestyle images. So what we're going to do here, we're going to jump into Nano Banana, which is within Google's AI Studio tools, and make some incredibly realistic and just great high quality product images to use on Merchant Center. Now, when you're on Merchant Center, you can chop and change images. You can test different images on Merchant Center. Please note, if you're changing a picture here on Merchant Center, it's not going to change the picture the customer sees when they land on your website. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the example product picture we found at the start. Obviously, this is already a lifestyle picture, quite low res, but let me think of a prompt quickly here to use to make this better and for it to stand out on Google Shopping. Okay, now this is the prompt we're going with. I have no idea what the result's going to be, but you can see we've put show this moon lamp on a rustic light wooden table. It is illuminating the room with a warm yellow light. The room has dark charcoal panel walls, rustic wooden furniture, indoor plants, exposed brick, fireplace. Let's hit go. If you're struggling for prompts, you can use ChatGPT to come up with ideas, but again, just for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it short and simple. So this should take about 10 seconds or so, and this is what it is giving us. So already so much better than this. This just proves my point. It looks brilliant. So my recommendation would be to chop and change, get different results, compare, and then just choose the best picture that you think is going to do well. But for the sake of this video, we are just going to use this one here. Now, obviously this picture here, it's got that AI watermark down here, so make sure you are removing any watermarks on your pictures. And also, this is quite a zoomed out picture, and with Google Shopping, because each shopping section is quite small, you do want the product to take up most of that space. So if we jump back into Merchant Center here, you can just see I've zoomed in a bit closer on the product just to make it stand out a bit more and to make sure it fills up more of that space. But you can see the lamp clearly stands out. It's in a good contrasting setting, so I'd be confident going in launching this product and thinking it's going to do well because that image really does stand out. But again, if you're sat there and some of your products are there getting a lot of clicks but not converting, or on the flip side, if perhaps a product is getting a lot of impressions but not a lot of clicks, so you've got a low click-through rate, that could be because the image is of poor quality. People would then assume, okay, that product's just not going to work, I'm just going to turn it off and kill it. Try new titles, try new product pictures, especially with all of these AI tools out there now. You can get a brand new product picture in about 20 seconds. So before you kill anything, just test something new, because it could completely change the results you see from a particular product. Right, so we've got our images, we've got our title and description. Let's move on to some of the nitty gritty stuff, if you like. Again, often overlooked, but you want to make sure this is all done correctly. So you've got here price, condition, and availability. Now, a lot of these sections here, such as price, condition, these will already be synced from your Shopify store. If they are, you can leave them here. Product type, again, this is often automatically synced, but you can just add it here if you want to. But again, if you're using an automated shopping feed from Shopify or any other platform, likelihood is these are already automatically synced. You can see for the product category, you don't actually have to enter this. You can leave it empty and Google will essentially auto categorize your product. After a certain amount of time, it will analyze the product and it will know what it is, and it will automatically put it into the most relevant category. So if you can't think of what category your product belongs to specifically, just let Google do it. It's just one less thing to worry about. So pretty simple, that section here. Next, you've got product identifiers. Quite important if you're selling branded products, if you're a retail website. I've got clients that obviously sell other brands' products rather than their sort of own custom made ones. And if you're selling other brands' products, they will have what is called a product identification number, you know, a GTIN number, UPC. These are essentially the barcode numbers that are assigned to each product. So make sure you're including all of these numbers here for each of your products. You can either enter that here or Merchant Center, or again, you can enter it in the barcode section on Shopify and that will automatically sync over. This won't apply to all of you, but it is really, really important. I've seen accounts where they're not using this and their products just aren't getting any reach. But as soon as you start adding the correct GTIN and UPC numbers and things like that, your reach and impressions and clicks and traffic will dramatically increase because Google wants that for products that have them. So don't overlook this. If the product you're selling has a barcode number, put it in here. It makes such a huge difference. If it is your own product, then you can select this box here, but most products being sold do have a barcode number, so make sure you find it and put it in here. Okay, moving on, language, obviously auto selected, you can't change that. Countries, that's linked to the data source, you don't need to do anything with that. Obviously you submit your product feed per country, so that's a completely separate thing. Custom labels aren't going to affect the performance and reach of your product. This is just a good way, especially if you have large catalogs. It is a good way to segment your products if you're running multiple shopping campaigns or multiple ad groups in shopping campaigns. For example, you could add a custom label for your best sellers, your high ticket product. You can custom label products based on profit margin or collection, category, absolutely anything. So when you're making ad groups in shopping campaigns or PMAXs, instead of manually selecting all of the products that apply to that particular category or group, you can simply select the custom label appropriate and all of your products will already be grouped together. Now, you can either do this in Merchant Center, but again, this is something you can do in the feed app that you're using over on Shopify. Okay, moving on, apparel product details, obviously very self-explanatory. If you're running a clothing brand, you want to be filling out all of these sections here because again, the more information Google has about your product, the more relevant it's going to be, the more it knows about the product and the better the reach and the more relevant the traffic is going to be. You've got additional details here. Again, these have never really applied to many of the products I'm selling. If you're selling electrical products, you could put these sorts of things in here. But obviously, you know your business best, you know your products best, and you'll know if you need to enter these details here. Shipping and returns, I don't actually bother with because you set up your shipping and returns details as a business as a whole within Merchant Center. You don't need individual shipping details per product. And finally, not something I usually do, but if you measure your profit within your Google ad account, which is crazy because I mean you should be using separate software entirely for profit tracking, but Google does offer the ability to add the cost of goods sold for your product, so if you can add the cost here for the product that you're selling. Again, not needed. It's not going to change the performance of your product in a shopping ad. And that is pretty much it. There's no other settings that you can do here. If we just scroll back up to the top, you can see we've got the title, description, image. For me, and I say this to everyone, the title and the image are the most important things. If you need to, you can go back in this video and go step by step again if you really need to. One thing that I'd recommend not changing in Merchant Center is obviously the product price, because the product price must match the price that you show on your website. And if you're using Shopify and you change the product price, it will automatically update in Merchant Center anyway. And please don't think that you need the cheapest price to win on shopping ads. You really, really don't. I've had products where I ended up increasing the price 20-30%. Click-through rate would stay the same, but obviously I'm then making more profit per order. So please don't think that you just need to be the cheapest. It is not a race to the bottom with shopping prices. And there's nothing wrong with testing a slightly higher selling price because you might surprise yourself and obviously make more profit, which at the end of the day is what we're all here for. So if you found this video useful, drop a like down below, subscribe if you are new. If you want to work with me directly one-on-one, have me in the corner of your business, you can click the WAP link in the description. Again, if you've got any questions about working with me, please just drop me a message. Other than that, enjoy the rest of Q4. Hope you're all crushing it and I'll see you in the next video.